Hey guys, Coach Hunter here. Today Thomas is helping me out for a very special topic, a very special episode of Blossom. So today we're going to be talking about fighting a taller opponent, okay? It's something, of course, that I've had to deal with a lot in my career, even for my weight class. I'm relatively short. I've only fought one guy who I was taller than, and it was pretty awesome, I have to say. But it's not as hard as a lot of people make it out to be, although I think in striking, height and length, more particularly, is a big advantage, okay? And obviously Thomas is in a much different weight class, but it's a good example for us. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to say about fighting a taller opponent is understanding your range and understanding theirs, okay? So what I mean by this is it's very common for people to get used to stepping outside of their own range and feeling like they're safe. Because right now, I'm outside of my range against Thomas here, right? The problem, of course, and this is an exaggerated scenario, is that Thomas is in his range. So I'm getting comfortable hanging out inside the danger zone here, okay? I cannot hang out here. I either need to be in all the way in my range, firing shots, or all the way out of his range as well, okay? You cannot hang out inside your opponent's range, okay? Now it might also be in your range, but then you should be firing, okay? If you're going toe-to-toe with somebody and you want to exchange, that's fine, that's a style you can pursue, but make sure it's an intentional choice, okay? You're not staying in the pocket, and by that I mean your opponent's range, because you just don't know any better, okay? So really play with that in your mind. Figure out where you're in, where you're out, okay? Of course, when you're sparring, it's where you learn it really practically, but understand that principle and apply it. Remember not to hang out inside your opponent's range. If they can hit you without stepping forward, that's not a place to relax. Okay, so the next thing is how do we get in on somebody who's taller, right? Because someone who's got this big advantage, if I step forward, he can step back, right? And hit me there. And that can be pretty hard to deal with. Especially, I think, even more than in fighting, in the gym, because there's way more space. Okay, you have these big mats, you can just move around, and I've seen groups where they wander from one corner to the gym to the other corner and around, because one guy's just kind of playing this keep away game. It can be done in a cage or a ring, but it's harder. That said, what do I do here? So I think the first thing to remember is that if I'm moving forward, my head has to move off center line, okay? I can't walk in at him and expect not to get hit. There are times though where you just have to say, all right, I'm getting in. So I step forward and I'm gonna accept getting hit. I have my guard up, I'm just expecting that shot, okay? But I prefer not to get hit. So when I step in, I'm moving my head off center line, right? I'm stepping in with my head movement of some type, right? One way or the other, okay? Then I'm firing my shots, and when I'm done, I'm out, okay? I'm all the way outside of range. So from the other side, when I'm stepping forward, I'm slipping, right? And see, I'm getting low here, okay? I'm slipping the other way. I'm rolling. Well, I'm rolling, okay? So I'm just stepping straight down, all right? Especially if I'm going in for my shot, okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is drawing. What do I mean by this? So move back a little bit. If I'm always moving forward, right? Thomas can get into that mode of, okay, I'm just gonna kind of move backward, especially backwards in a circle, with a circle of motion, right? I will never catch Thomas this way, okay? He's too mobile. He knows that all he has to do is move in this circle, and it's gonna be very difficult for me to catch him. Now, we did talk about stalking the other day, and that can help, but it doesn't get me past the range of his punches, okay? Well, what we do wanna think about is drawing them in. So if I move backwards a little bit, he's gonna start coming forward if he wants to engage, okay? And I can cut that distance. So he comes forward, I come forward to meet him. He comes forward, I come in. Okay, also, combined with head movement would be favorable, right? Okay? So drawing him in, right? And it comes to exiting. Obviously, there's gonna be a period of time where I'm exiting that he can hit me, I cannot hit him, okay? A couple ways to make that safer. The first is to angle out. So as I'm in, right, I'm firing shots, instead of just stepping away into his range, right, I can step out at an angle, okay? I'm in, I step out at an angle. Over here. I'm in, I step out at an angle. So he's gonna have to at least turn to face me, okay? I'm in, I step out at an angle. One more time. I'm doing this a lot. Yeah, it's great back. Because I want you guys to see it. It's very, very important. And this is true regardless if your opponent's taller than you or not. I'm firing shots. I step out at an angle.
Well, it's still relevant if they're in your like same range, right?
Yeah, I mean exactly. Yeah. So it's important for anybody regardless. And finally, we'll talk about clinching, okay? Which is really, and even if you're not allowed to clinch, a brief tie-up, if you let go of it voluntarily, is very legal. So if I'm firing my range, even if I just kind of grab his arms here, I'm not like, even with boxing gloves like him, I don't have hands, I'm not gripping like a collar tie or a Muay Thai style plum. I'm just kind of pushing around, getting out that way. And then I'm gripping, and just pushing around. Okay, I'm just kind of stepping around him, I'm shoving him, but I'm also just stepping around, okay? So it's not just me pushing him away, I'm trying to muscle him. He's obviously a lot bigger, I'm not gonna muscle this guy, right? So here, I push away, okay? So I'm angling with that inside clinch, or not inside clinch, just with the clinch. Understand though, initiating a clinch on a taller opponent, they may choose to continue that game. So just be quick, understand what you're trying to do. Of course, we can attack a clinch position, grip and start trying to knee, if that's allowed. Just depends on what you're doing, what your style is, and what format you're fighting in. So guys, that's a very brief overview. We'll be getting into more detail on these drills at a later date. All right guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the mats.